Most people will spend their entire lives thinking intelligence means collecting degrees, repeating book quotes, or getting high grades. But true intelligence, the kind that changes destinies, is silent, strategic, and almost invisible. It doesn't scream, it observes. It doesn't react, it calculates. And those who master it become dangerous, not by attacking, but by seeing what others ignore. Right now, 90% of people are running on autopilot, making the same predictable moves, falling into the same mental traps. They think being smart means being loud, being first to speak, being right in every argument. But what if I told you that the most intelligent people in the room are often the quietest ones? What if real power comes from being underestimated? Today, I'm revealing 5 mental shifts that will place you among the 10% who truly think differently. This isn't about winning debates or showing off your knowledge. This is about transforming how you see the world, how you process information, and how you make decisions that actually matter. Because true power is invisible until it becomes inevitable. Shift number 1. Master the art of strategic. Silence while everyone else is rushing to share their opinions. The truly intelligent are collecting data. They're watching, listening, analyzing patterns that others miss completely. When someone speaks first in a meeting, they reveal their position. When someone argues loudest, they show their weakness. But when you stay silent, you maintain your advantage. Strategic silence isn't about being shy or insecure. It's about understanding that information is power, and the moment you reveal what you know, you lose leverage. Think about chess masters. They don't announce their next 5 moves. They keep their strategy hidden until the perfect moment to strike. The same principle applies to every area of life. Have you ever noticed how the most successful people often seem to know something others don't? That's not luck or natural talent. That's the result of disciplined observation, while others are busy performing. They're studying the game while everyone else is just playing it. They see the patterns because they're not distracted by the need to be heard. Shift number 2. Think in systems, not events. Most people see life as a series of random events. Good things happen, bad things happen, and they react accordingly. But intelligent thinkers see systems, interconnected webs of cause and effect that most people completely miss. They understand that everything is connected, and small changes in one area can create massive shifts elsewhere. When others see a stock market crash, they panic. When systems thinkers see the same crash, they recognize the underlying economic patterns that made it inevitable. When others see a successful business, they focus on the product. Systems thinkers see the marketing strategy, the supply chain, the timing, and the market conditions that aligned perfectly. This shift changes everything about how you make decisions. Instead of reacting to what's happening now, you start predicting what will happen next. Instead of being surprised by outcomes, you begin orchestrating them. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become an architect of your reality. Shift #3. Embrace strategic ignorance. Here's something that will blow your mind. Truly intelligent people choose what to ignore, while everyone else is trying to know everything about everything. The 10% are ruthlessly selective about where they invest their mental energy. They understand that attention is their most valuable resource, and they guard it like their life depends on it. This doesn't mean being ignorant about important things. It means being strategic about information consumption, while others scroll endlessly through social media. Consuming random bits of information that don't improve their lives, you're focusing on knowledge that compounds. You're learning skills that build on each other rather than collecting random facts. Do you find yourself overwhelmed by information, but somehow less informed than before? That's because you're consuming without filtering. The intelligent few have learned to say no to good information so they can say yes to great information. They ignore 99% of the noise so they can hear the 1% that actually matters. Shift #4. Practice emotional detachment in decision-making. This might sound cold, but the most successful people have learned to separate their emotions from their decisions. Not because they don't feel emotions, but because they understand that emotions are terrible advisors when it comes to important choices. They feel everything but let logic drive the wheel. When everyone else is making decisions based on fear, anger, excitement, or social pressure, you're analyzing data and probabilities. When others are buying high because everyone else is buying, you're staying calm, and looking for real value. When others are quitting because something feels hard, you're asking whether the difficulty is temporary or permanent. Doesn't mean becoming a robot, it means creating space between feeling and action. You can feel frustrated, disappointed, or excited, but you don't let those feelings hijack your judgment. You acknowledge the emotion, understand what it's telling you, then make your decision based on what will actually serve your long-term interests. Shift, has 5. Develop contrarian thinking. The majority is almost always wrong about the things that matter most. Not because people are stupid, but because crowds think emotionally and follow each other off cliffs. The 10% who think differently have learned to question popular wisdom and look for opportunities where everyone else sees problems. When everyone says something is impossible, contrarian thinkers ask, what if everyone is missing something obvious? When everyone is running toward the same opportunity, they're looking in the opposite direction for the real gold. When everyone agrees on something, they get suspicious and start digging deeper. This isn't about being difficult or disagreeable for its own sake. It's about recognizing that extraordinary results come from thinking in ways that most people don't or won't. If you're always following the crowd, you'll always get average results. But when you learn to think independently, you discover opportunities that others can't even see. Have you ever noticed how the biggest breakthroughs often seem obvious in hindsight? That's because someone finally had the courage to question what everyone else accepted as truth. They didn't have special information, they just looked at the same information with different eyes. The compound effect of invisible intelligence. These 5 shifts don't just change how you think, they change who you become. When you master strategic silence, you gain influence without force. When you think in systems, you see opportunities before they're obvious to others. When you embrace strategic ignorance, you become incredibly focused and effective. When you detach emotionally from decisions, you make choices that your future self will thank you for. And when you think contrarian, you position yourself where the real rewards are waiting. Separately, each shift is powerful. Combined, they make you almost unstoppable. The beautiful thing about invisible intelligence is that it compounds. Every day you practice these mental shifts, you get a little better at seeing what others miss. You become a little more strategic, a little more focused, a little more independent in your thinking. And while others stay trapped in reactive patterns, you're quietly building something extraordinary most people will never make. These shifts because they require letting go of the need to appear smart in the moment. They require patience, discipline, and the confidence to be misunderstood. But for those who embrace this path, the rewards are beyond what most people can imagine. The world is full of people who are intellectually gifted but strategically clueless. They have all the knowledge, but none of the wisdom to use it effectively. Don't be one of them. Intelligence without strategy is just expensive entertainment, but intelligence with strategy, that's true power. Remember where we started. True intelligence is silent, strategic, and almost invisible. It doesn't announce itself with degrees or fancy vocabulary. It reveals itself through results that seem impossible to everyone else. It's the kind of intelligence that changes destinies. Starting with your own dot, the choice is yours. You can keep thinking like everyone else and get the same results everyone else gets. Or you can make these 5 shifts and join the 10% who see the world as it really is. Because once you develop invisible intelligence, you'll never be the same. The true power is invisible until it becomes inevitable.